If you were hired to do a sporting luncheon, you were going to be the biggest speaker. I don't know. Have you done something like that, actually? You probably wouldn't have time.
I've done a couple. Not a whole lot because I'm never in the country. I don't mind doing it, though.
Yeah. But do you have some go-to stories? Do you have some stories that you just love telling that you feel like people actually always want to know? I remember sitting next to Michael Kaspovich one time and he on the plane and he genuinely said, these are the 3 stories I always go to that I find that I get asked the most.
No, look, I probably don't get asked the stories that I tell to my mates or whatever, because most of the stories I think, happen on the lower level tours. The when you're playing the futures and you're playing for $100 and you're sleeping on floors and you're doing all that. Most people want to know, especially about Roger. So I find myself more than ever in the last 18 months. I talk a lot about Roger. I compare him to Rafa and I compare him to Novak and Andy because, I've been fortunate enough to play these guys. They want to know about the venues. They want to know what it's like to go and play at Wimbledon and that. But I prefer the grind because I had to do the grind for a long time and almost reset every time I had an injury and go back and do the grind. And I remember once and I was in Korea, South Korea. It wasn't in the North one, and we were in the middle of Korea. It wasn't the biggest town at all, and the food was no good. And you were at the courts all day, and then it was probably about a 25-minute trip back to the hotel. But none of us could. Well, we couldn't afford taxis or anything. Like literally, we are not making any money. It's lucky that we have a place actually to sleep that night. And what so they had 3 buses a day. And if you didn't get those buses, you were on the last bus back home at the end of play. So I was there with a guy called Matty Barton and we were waiting for this double. These guys are and good players, but they're playing for about $75, and they want it bad, they really do want it bad. And we're waiting for this match to finish. It's late at night and Matty Barton and myself, we actually had ordered, we were feeling pretty good about ourselves. We both won our singles, we'd won our doubles and, it was treat night. It was treat night. And so we'd ordered some Domino's pizza. They have Domino's over there. I'm pretty sure it might have been Pizza Hut. It was one of the two.
Yep.
And we ordered that to be delivered to the court. So this match is going on. It's in a really tense moment in the second set. There's 3 people watching, myself, Matt Barton, and the tournament supervisor there. And this doubles match is going on. And a guy called Nima Roshan, he's an Australian tennis player. He was playing, and the umpire was having a mare. He was missing calls, and Nima's telling him, mate, just watch the ball, and it's break point, set point to the other players to take it into a match tiebreaker, and you just hear in the distance this sound of like a motorized kind of scooter, like this, and you just see it coming around and pulls up at the back of the court, and we could see it's our pizza, but we're up in the little stands, up in the little stadium, and we're going, oh no, what's happening here? Because the guy's lining up, he's got a serve ready, he's got break points, set points, the other team, and this guy, this Korean pizza delivery guy, decides that he grabs the pizza and he walks on court and he gives it to the guy that probably looks like he needed to feed the most, to be honest with you. So he took an educated guess and tried to deliver it to the guy who's about to return this serve. And I tell you what, Nima absolutely loses his mind. The guys lose their mind, and Matty goes down and pays for the pizza and brings it back up. The guy double faults, loses the set, and then loses the match, and he is just giving the umpire a mouthful, going, mate, how can I trust you to call a line when, you can't even call the pizza guy to get off the court.
It literally sounds
And the
like a
umpire.
paid play. It's got like shades of Happy Gilmore about it. The guy that just
Yeah.
like,
Oh, mate, it's a regular occurrence on the Futures Tour, and the umpire just says, mate, sorry, but you told me to watch the ball, so I was just watching the ball. Well, Nima just lost it after that. There were rackets flying everywhere, and I'll tell you what, the pizza tasted pretty good though.
yeah, absolutely. That's a serious positive.